Good day. Here are the stories of the Manila Times for Monday, December 28, 2020. American biotechnology company Moderna is accelerating its shipment of coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 vaccines to the Philippines, Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. said on Sunday. Locsin tweeted that it was Philippine Ambassador to the United States Jose Manuel Romualdez who relayed the good news. He made it clear that no vaccine will be mass deployed unless the official recommending it for mass deployment is seen taking it himself. Locsin recently criticized a cabinet member without naming him for dropping the ball during the government's negotiations with Pfizer for supplying the Philippines with its vaccine. Romualdez revealed that Locsin was referring to Health Secretary Francisco Duque III. The country's quest for vaccines faced political complications after President Rodrigo Duterte warned he would push through with terminating the Visiting Forces Agreement or the VFA if the United States does not provide at least 20 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines to the Philippines. Funding totaling 2.35 billion pesos, which the Philippine Sports Commission released to the Philippine Southeast Asian Games Organizing Committee or PHISGOC and the Philippine Olympic Committee or POC for holding the Southeast Asian Games remained unliquidated. The Commission on Audit reported 1.81 billion pesos was released to the PHISGOC and 535.41 million pesos to the POC, KUWTT said in its audit report on the PSC for 2019. The PHISGOC and POC were supposed to submit their fund utilization report within 60 days after the games ended. KUWTT and the PSC, PHISGOC, and POC agreed in a meeting on January 21 that the remaining financial support from the PSC needs to be remitted first to PHISGOC in order to pay or settle the remaining unpaid contractors and suppliers for the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Despite the unsettled amounts, the PSC released 417,546,728 pesos and 8 centavos to PHISGOC from January 29 to June 19 this year, further increasing the unliquidated amounts of PHISGOC, KUWTT said. The COVID-19 crisis would not be the last pandemic, and attempts to improve human health are doomed without tackling climate change and animal warfare, the World Health Organization's chief said. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus also condemned the dangerously short-sighted cycle of throwing cash at outbreaks but doing nothing to prepare for the next one, in a video message marking Sunday's first International Day of Epidemic Preparedness. The WHO Director General said it was time to learn the lessons from the pandemic. A former mayor of Jaén town Nueva Ecija wants the Commission on Elections or COMELEC to reinstate her, claiming that she had been illegally ousted from her post. In a 36-page petition for certiorari and prohibition, Silvia Austria also asked the COMELEC to unseat Antonio Prospero Esquivel, who had assumed the mayorship. Austria asked the electoral body to block the writ of execution order issued by Judge Angelo Perez of the Regional Trial Court, 3rd Judicial Region, last December 7, directing Austria to vacate her office, clearing the way for Esquivel's takeover. Esquivel was sworn in on December 16 by Judge John Voltaire Venturina of Gapan City. A 2,000-year-old fast food stall was unearthed from the ash of Pompeii has given researchers new clues about the snacking habits of the ancient Romans. The ornate snack bar counter, decorated with polychrome patterns and frozen by volcanic ash, was partially exhumed last year, but archaeologists extended work on the site to reveal it in its full glory. Pompeii was buried in a sea of boiling lava when the volcano on nearby Mount Vesuvius erupted in AD 79, killing between 2,000 and 15,000 people. Archaeologists continue to make discoveries there. President Rodrigo Duterte extended the ban on all flights from the United Kingdom for another 2 weeks as the Philippines secured its borders against the spread of a new coronavirus variant. Duterte approved the recommendation of Palace spokesman Harry Roque Jr. to extend the ban during his meeting with members of the cabinet on Saturday. The government initially suspended flights from the UK, where the new COVID-19 variant was first detected, from December 24 to 31. The two new low-pressure areas spotted in Palawan and Albay will continue to bring rain in most parts of the country, although there had been a low chance of developing into a tropical depression. the Weather Bureau said on Sunday. The first low-pressure area was seen 80 kilometers west of Puerto Princesa City in Palawan, while the other was spotted 85 kilometers east of Legazpi City, Albay. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, however, did not rule out the likelihood of a tropical cyclone formation. Valenzuela Mayor Rex Gatchalian on Sunday said the Sangguniang Panlunsod, or the City Council, has approved an ordinance banning all types of firecrackers until the state of public health emergency is lifted. Ordinance 833 prohibits the manufacture, sale, distribution, storage, possession, or use of all types of firecrackers. It also bans the use of firecrackers and pyrotechnic devices, the mayor said. Violators will be slapped with a fine of 5,000 pesos or will be detained for up to 30 days. In business, the national government's gross borrowings hit 124.03 billion pesos in November. Data from the Bureau of Treasury showed the gross borrowings during the month was up by more than 700% from a year ago's 14.34 billion pesos. During the month, domestic financing amounted to 114.83 billion pesos from 8.06 billion pesos in November of 2019. Local borrowings were sourced through the issuance of 45 billion and 69.83 billion pesos worth of treasury bills and fixed-rate bonds, respectively. Topping sports, the Orlando Magic beat the Washington Wizards 130-120 on Saturday night or Sunday in Manila, overcoming another triple-double by Russell Westbrook in his home debut for the Wizards. Westbrook had 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists to become the fourth player in NBA history to record a triple-double in his team's first 2 games. Magic Johnson twice, Jerry Lucas, and Oscar Robertson previously accomplished the feat. Westbrook is the first player to do it with a new team after being acquired from Houston in an off-season trade for John Wall. Rigoberto Tiglao and Father Ranilio Aquino are the front-page columnists for today's edition of The Times. Tiglao discusses the issue of the reptilian brain after the recent killings in Tarlac, while Father Aquino talks about the new variant of the coronavirus coming from the United Kingdom. Today's Times editorial hits Malacanang over its muddling of the COVID-19 vaccine search by bringing up the Visiting Forces Agreement between the Philippines and the United States. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Keep up with the Times. With the Fort Villasaran, this is Eric John Sequor reporting. Stay safe even as this year ends.